What's up, Alpha Strikers? Welcome to the set review for the Mighty Thor set for Marvel Heroclix. I have myself, Professor Erks.
And myself, Pedro Rocha.
And myself, Shea McClure.
And we're going to get the breakdown of the entire set. Strap in, let's do this. First figure, we have Thor 001. He has the Asgardian and Adventures keyword. Pretty perfect for himself. Real name, Thor Odinson. He has one special power. It's called Mjolnir Slam. He has Quake. When Thor uses it, damage from the attack can't pierce below 1. So, hey, basically Precision Strike Quake for all things. 50 points, Avengers TA. Give himself that +1 to movement, so get out there and fight for range and the flight symbol. So, hey, 50-point taxi, not too bad. Basic powers here. He's got charge, sidestep with some toughness on top to keep him alive, and reflexes. So this dial, basing on the design of it, looks like they made it to make for that group with the Avengers Defenders War set. He kind of pairs well with like the 50-point Avengers in that set, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Weaknesses, I mean, pretty short dial for Thor. Kind of wish he had one click of invulnerable, kind of make him live a little bit longer. But other than that, if you're like a new player looking for a common Thor to get into your collection, this one's not bad to grab.
Totally agree.
Oh yeah, I like him. I think he's very good for 50 points. Just you wish he could last a little bit longer, but I like him. He'll be fun. He's usually sealed too because he's a flyer.
This is correct. Taxis are always good, especially when the Avengers TA for that +1 movement to carry. So he carries out 8 squares. Not too shabby.
And I like his Quake to break up formations. And I mean, should be pretty cool. And he doesn't really drop an attack value below a 9. So
yeah, and you can push out of it worst case, right?
Right.
That's right.
Very well. So number 2, this guy is a handful of awesome. It's Loki. It has Asgardian, deity, and mystical keywords. His real name is Loki, Luffy's son. His first trait is already a trait in which you can add 10 points to his 65 normal cost. And during your fourth construction, you may add 2 of the same Loki in your starting force on the click number 1, but it's the click that appears on after the KO, which it has the orange color, and you're going to see that in the back of his card, which is exactly the same as the first 2 click of his normal starting line, so that your opponent will not be able to know who's the Loki, because it's the God of Trickery trait. Such event has 0-point value for all effects, including scoring. The trait says Illusion or Reality. Loki starts the game on click number 1, and that's the one that appears after the blue KO line, his regular starting line, and until an effect needs to know, you don't have to reveal the point value of any number 2 Loki, so your opponent don't really know, in case you pay for the extra 2, which of the 3 is the real one. Has a stop click called This No Longer Amuses Me, which gives them invulnerability, but each time the click is revealed, you have to KO all the other friendly Lokis. And the only cautionary tale here is that if you play 2 of these 65 Lokis, be careful, because the original one will go again. So if I recall correctly, the ruling says all of them go and only the one on the stop click stays. But bear with me, on top of his, what you see is what you get powers, he's got another damage power, special power called My. You just keep falling for this, don't you? He has Shape Change. When Loki uses it and succeed, after resolutions, you may generate within range and line of fire another number 1/2 Loki on click number 1 after the orange KO line. So one of his images, like the first one, you can bring in during fourth construction. They have 0-point values just like their ones, and they have 0 point for scoring. So all in all, it's a very fun, very crazy figure to get. Of course, if you're going to play this in seal, it's cool, but it's very hard to pick, and get enough Lokis for the fun. But having 3 Lokis that can have a 10 attack with phasing teleport, with incapacitate, 18 defense with super senses is super cool. And then when you get to his stop click, he has invulnerability, his defense goes up, he has psychic blast, he has sidestep, outwit. So It's a very cool piece. Kind of, support that then becomes a bit more aggressive, gains outwit. Crazy good in any situation. You might even see him maybe in a meta game or two, with some crazy odd teams. But all in all, an amazing figure, worthy of the trickery of Loki.
So basically, you're saying we need a lot of these things.
Yes.
I
Yes,
don't
especially
think-
if you're lucky on the shape change rolls.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't pull enough of these guys. You just
nah.
Exactly.
The distribution I've seen is like one per brick, and that's a little ridiculous for a common. Sure.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, you just can't get enough. That'd be the one downside on sealed on him. You're at most maybe I'll have 2 of them. You won't be able to play the third one, which is always a down. But
Exactly.
I know a lot of guys at my venue really want to play this guy, and a lot of them. So should be interesting to watch.
Yep. Get ready to see him and play him.
Oh yeah, that's what I say. One of the top fun pieces in the set. Hey.
For sure.
Now I'm gonna move on, and we got Hercules. He is 003 in this set. He's got the Avengers, Cosmic, Deity, Future, and Warrior keywords. His real name is Hercules. He's got a trait. It says challenge cosmic entities to a game. Free. If Hercules has 0 or 1 action tokens, choose an adjacent opposing character of 100 points or more. Both players each roll a 6. If Hercules' result is equal or higher, give the chosen character an action token. Otherwise, give Hercules an action token. If the chosen character can use the power cosmic team ability, increase Hercules' result by +1. And he also has a special power that only appears on his first click. He has Space Chariot of Apollo, Sidestep, Hypersonic Speed, but only once per game. He also has Charge, Super Strength, Invulnerability, Toughness, and Close Combat Expert. He's 100 points, has Endom. He's a walker, and he is 6 clicks deep. One thing that's interesting about this guy, and I love him actually, is that his ability to lock down Eternals. He can come in, charge, hit them, and then you can do your free action roll and to see if you can put a action token on the character you're now locked down in. I think that's awesome, and I love his ability to be an alpha striker. He can run in there. His damage is 3 all the way down. He has 18 to start, followed by 3 17s and finishes with 2 16s. I mean, this character, he's fun to play sealed. He's not horrible, and I think you can have a lot of fun with him, especially if you have people at your venue that love to bring Power Cosmic. He can really mess with them.
I just want to chime in. This is probably one of the cheapest, most economical Hercules I have ever seen they've made in the most recent times. Like, I know there's one from like Age of Ultron, I think, and there was one maybe in Civil War too, I think.
Yeah, there's one in Civil War. He was I remember him. Yes.
But I like the design of Dial. It's so Hercules, and the fact they give him Endom so you could hypersonic in, hit you for that 3 damage and knock you back. And if he doesn't, if you're into a wall, that's cool. And then do the free action. It's awesome.
Yep, for a tie up, it's so I think the 100. He also indomitable, so it's 100 points. It's a little bit dicey, but at least you're getting what you're paying for. 10 attack, minimum 11, 3 up, half the clicks. Invulnerable for the first 2 click. It's a good guy. I like she said if you get him against a Power Cosmic, you might actually take more out of him than expected. So very nice.
Hey, could you imagine him with the symbiote on him?
Yes. Nobody leaves. Everybody stay here. I'm giving tokens all around.
That's grody. Oh man, or just put the blood axe on this guy, which we'll get to later, but that could be nasty too.
Yep.
All right. I guess I'll take the next one. So we have 004 Sif, Asgardian Deity Warrior. Real name Sif. She has a defense power on the first 2 and last click of her 5-click dial called Master Combatant. Combat reflexes and toughness. Pretty cool there. So her top dial looks like Flurry, Blades, and that defense power. Then click 3 and 4, get Sidestep with more Blades and some toughness. And that's really about it. 2 and 3 damage, 2 damage on the Blades rolls, and then 3s on the naked attack powers. Overall, it's a really good Sif for, just basic blades action. She needs someone to carry her in for sure, or TK her around to really get up in the fight. Because if she's out there in the open, she might just get vaporized. It's kind of unfortunate. But I want to say that, like, of all of Thor's world, the Warriors 3, I was hoping to see them, but I was like, why couldn't Sif get a cool treatment like they did? She's just as big as they are, in my opinion. But overall, not bad. Anything
And she's only 45 points, right? I mean,
it's cheap blades.
Yeah, it's a fragile character, but it's only you're getting 5 clicks for 45, 3 of them with flurry, 2 of them with blades. The one that doesn't have blades, it's 11-3. So she hurts when she hits. You just have to be careful to make maximum usage of her by staying close combat to everybody and enjoying her +2, and then manage her carefully. But if you are good at managing fragile goods, she hurts really bad. She's really good.
Right. Now, one thing I can see someone doing in a game, and this just seems really silly, but that the Thor Odinson title character we'll get to later, he can call her over because she has his grading keyword if he's right next to somebody, and she can go ham on somebody.
Exactly. Flurry blades, it's always good, no matter the points.
Yep.
Oh, and she's also important in sealed as at 45 points, you wouldn't think so, but she can also help you round out your point totals.
Always that awkward between 50 to 300, whatever it is, 250 to 300.
Yeah, she can give you a nice little option there. So,
yep. Which takes me to the next guy, the guy we all know and love, to which we all know the secret that he's always angry. It's the Hulk, number 5. Avengers, Defenders, Brute, and Monster. His real name, Bruce Banner. His first trait, and only, powered by rage. If I recall correctly, this is going to be a trait that repeats itself in a couple other Hulks. So, we're going to explain this once and then save you guys some time when referring to it again. When Hulk takes damage from an attack, give him a number of rage tokens equal to the damage taken -1. So that's after the damage is defined, after reducers are applied. So that's the net damage you eventually click in your figure. Take that damage -1, and that's the number of rage tokens you get. Hulk's combat values, except range, are modified by +X, where X is the number of rage tokens. At the end of your turn, you remove all rage tokens. So basically, if you take damage on a turn, when it's your turn, you'll be able to retaliate, not to be confused with the colossal retaliation. You'll be able to hit back with your rage tokens, but if you don't, then you lose the rage tokens at the end of your turn. He has one special power in his last 3 clicks, which is you want to fight Hulk, then fight Hulk. He's got lip climb, and when Hulk uses it, after resolutions, he can use charge at no cost.
That is ridiculous.
Yes, that's leap plus charge. That's not leaping and attacking. It's leaping and charging and attacking. So he has leap. Other than that, he gets the what you see, what you get: leap, climb, charge, super strength, toughness, invulnerability, impervious, close combat expert, and battle fury. 110 points. He starts with leap, climb, attack at 10 with super strength, and like a true Hulk, he starts a little bit calmer. But as you damage him on his second click, he already gets close combat expert, which he holds for 3 clicks. Then he gets battle fury and 4 damage, and then he gets to his invulnerability, the charge, and then finishes his last 2 clicks very strong with an 18 and a 19 defense, both with 11 attack, super strength, and battle fury for 4 damage, and his crazy leap, climb, charge. A good piece, again, 110 point. Indomitable, doesn't fly but has leap, climb on the beginning and in the end of his dial. Strong, 110 points is always something that you're already looking into 1/3 of your force, so it has to be a good character. If your opponent don't know how to 1 hit him or 2 hit him really hard, this guy can get really strong really quick and close big gaps and hurt people. So super cool piece, especially at a common level. Can do good in seal. Meta maybe a little bit shorter of that because its best clicks come in the end, and it's hard to project or plan around having those clicks show up, but a very cool piece.
One thing I like about this Hulk is that he shares the same point value as the Thor from What If, the common one, the leader.
Oh yeah,
you could carry him around, and those two could be a great little tag team together for sure.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even noticed that they were 110, both of them. But yeah, He's an interesting piece in that I've played him a couple of times, and he makes you actually have to think about it when you're going to attack him and how you're going to attack him. I mean, because if you're putting a lot of rage tokens on him, he can get crazy quick.
Yeah, just take the values you see on the screen there, guys, and just think +3s to all of those, and that could be his dial at any given one turn. So
yeah, especially if you knock him into clicks 5, 6, or 7, because that +3 would then go on to his not only attack power, defense, damage, and movement.
Yeah,
which that's just crazy. So you're making this guy go up to a potential on his last click. If you got him on a +3, he is now an 8 movement leap climb, plus half of that for a charge. So that's 12 movement, 14 damage, 22 defense with impervious, and 7. I mean,
14
not
attack and
7
damage.
7 damage. That's crazy. 110 points. And that's just you not knowing what's going on. And in sealed, he could surprise you if you really don't know what's going on.
Right.
I mean, hit him when he's got 2 tokens. That's my only advice. Hit him when he's got 2 tokens.
That's a very good point. Wait for him to be tired.
That's right. Okay, I've got the next guy. It's our own blue-eyed, chisel-chinned Captain America. Yes, he's got the Asgardian, which is nice to see. Avengers and Warrior keywords. Real name Steve Rogers. He is 55 points. He's got 2 special powers. Barroom Brawl, Asgardian style. That's on his speed movement. Gets charge, flurry, plasticity. All great powers put together right there. Hero of Asgard is his defensive power. Toughness, willpower. Modify Captain America's defense +2 when attacked by a character with the Asgardian keyword. Automatically and sealed, he's going to be good with that trait, with that special power. He also picks up Sidestep, Elven Blade, Sidestep, Stick and Move, Elven Blade, which blades claws fangs, Shield of a Dark Elf, which is combat reflexes. Edge weapons are a bit new to me, which is Exploit Weakness, and a Shield Bash, which is a close combat expert. If we look at his dial, he's got 6 clicks for 55 points, 8 speed for the first 2 clicks with his special power of charge, flurry, plasticity, with an 11 attack, 17 defense, 2 damage. The 11 attack has blades, claws, fangs. 17 defense has combat reflexes. He keeps that for 3 clicks, and his attack value never gets below a 10. His defense value doesn't get below a 17 until his last 2 clicks, but that's when his last 3 clicks, his toughness, willpower, or special power comes in. He's got Exploit Weakness, middle of his dial, close combat expert at the end. He does a little sidestep. He's just an interesting piece to have. Anybody that has charge, flurry, plasticity can bring something to the game. And at 55 points, he's not a huge investment. And the Asgardian keyword helps him kind of key off some of the other things in this set. So he can actually do well in sealed events. Really well, I think.
Thor Odinson is another great calling power for him, to bring him in. Like you said, charge, flurry, plasticity, blade, and combat reflexes, that screams synergy to me. It's the perfect hand-to-hand combat guy. Get him close to someone. He can still push to his second click, which is just like the first one, and beat just as hard and keep flurry blades. Then he gets exploit weakness, so that he's still hitting hard. His last 3 clicks, especially on a sealed set against other Asgardian, is still crazy. He's always hitting hard, whether by exploit weakness or CCE, for 55 points. Again, like you said, this guy for fun, it's crazy. For seal, if you have the right team, it's gonna play a lot. Meta. Unfortunately, we don't have a Captain America ID card, but this is a super cost-effective charge, flurry, plasticity with 11 blades. I would love to have a 55 call-in for that.
And, I have a story about this guy. I played him in Sealed, and oh my gosh, I played him with the Chase Odin, and him having the Asgardian keyword gives him that +1 to attack, so he's rocking a 12 attack with blades. I was like, this is so great. The problem is he always get peppered, and for some odd reason, once he hit those last 3 clicks, every opponent he was adjacent to never had the darn Asgardian keyword. So I'm like, you blasted Hulks and not your Asgardian keywords.
Yeah. The one thing you have to get used to about this figure, and it's something we're not used to with a Captain America, he's not a leader in this set. He's not going to have leadership on him.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about him. He's more of an offensive Captain America.
Yep. Well, he's playing Thor's turf, so Thor is the leader.
Yeah, for
there
sure.
you go. There you go.
All right, my turn.
See how lucky.
Oh, wow, look at this. All right, so I got 007 Spider-Man. He's my man, but wait, this isn't Peter Parker. This is real name Bruce Banner. But he does have the right keywords: Spider-Man family and scientist. Gotta love those two. He has a trait called Enhanced Reflexes, super senses, but only when targeted by a ranged attack. So still seems appropriate. Has improved movement, ignores character bases, which I always love to see because being able to get away from people is so important sometimes. He did adopt the from an alternate Earth trait from the What If set, so that's pretty cool. They now have it worded though sideline active. Friendly characters named Spider-Man or Hulk, I got that backwards, that are equal or more points than this character have free. Replace this character with number 007 Spider-Man on the same click number. So this could happen a lot. He's only 75 points, but there are a ton of Spider-Man and Hulk that are like more points than him. So if you ever see your opponent have a certain figure that you're like, oh well, man, I have no chance against them with this Hulk or this Spider-Man, you can change over to this one, get these cool abilities. So top 2 clicks, he's got Out of Control and On the Run, Charge, Flurry. Simple, basic. He's got super strength and 18 defense with toughness, and then 3 damage Battle Fury. So he can't be carried. This guy's a solo act. He goes on his own, does his thing, and just beats face.
Yeah.
Late dial, he gets Running Shot, Precision Strike, Willpower, and Outwit. All powers I'd love to see in Spider-Man. He's whipping you, he's keeping going, and keeping your powers away from him. So, not bad for a Bruce Banner Spider-Man. I'm kind of interested to read this book now to see how this all turned out. Because he's kind of wearing, I mean, in the comic book, he's wearing that, like, metal Spider-Man suit. It's really different and interesting, but I don't know. Sealed, definitely want this guy on your team if you can get him for 75 points. Only a fourth of your team. Tons of damage output you can possibly get here, and protection on the way in. Fun, of course. Effect Spider-Man, sure. Spider-Man family keywords. Meta, maybe with the ID card call-in. I could see people saying, oh, you have shape change. I'm going to go ahead and just charge Flurry and Battle Fury so you can't shape change my attacks. Not too bad.
Yep. It would be perfect for calling in if you could switch click 1 with 2, but still a strong piece, fun piece. Outwit is always great.
Indeed.
Yeah, he looks like he'll be a lot of fun. I like his ability to improve movement, move through characters. That kind of helps his charge. So he can do some damage. I can see him paired up. I like him as an ID call in, but he also has the ability to take the place of Avenger Defenders War Grey Hulk. They're both 75, I believe.
Oh, yep.
He definitely, that trait, I don't use that much, but I can see where it could have some impact on the game with you having more of a sideboard. He becomes a sideboard piece that's there for a specialty.
You just mentioned a great idea. Isn't the Grey Hulk the one that only dies if you get him targeted 5 times or something like that?
Yeah, it's really hard to kill because he's got that steel energy mid dial, and he ramps up to an 18 defense. If
someone is close to actually the 5th target, just switch for this guy and solve the problem.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome! I never thought of that. That'd be cool.
Yep. And you did. I just worded it out.
Oh yeah, you finished out the tweaking.
Exactly. I just packed it and delivered, but it's the credit's yours. So. This guy is cool. Warrior of Asgard. Maybe the coolest thing about him, his keywords, Asgardian Warrior, which is very flexible, especially in this set. His real name is Various, is a generic. 40 cool points. He starts with Charge 8, 10 blades, 17 toughness, and 2 damage. No impervious, of course. 40 points, 4 clicks. His attacks to 2nd to 4 clicks is a 9, but he keeps blades the whole time and toughness for the first 3, but loses move and attack on 3 and 4. All in all, a good piece, a good feeler. I think that, of course, when he gets put together or side by side with Sif and Captain America, especially Sif at 45, you see that he's a little bit shortchanged in terms of powers per points. but still, still a fun piece, still a good filler. Like Warriors and Asgardians are good for not breaking thematics. So it's 40 points, blades all the time. Might be useful. Great for fun. Just a little bit good as a filler in sealed, but this guy, unfortunately, although he looks really cool, I'm not seeing any meta.
The only thing I would have asked for is just take off that fourth click and just be 30 points, and then play a bunch of them with Odin. That's all I would have wanted.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would raise the bar. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it's really neat if you did a case. I have noticed. Well, me and my buddy did cases, but I got 3 of him and only 2 of Loki. So it's kind of interesting. This generic you got more of, distribution wise.
I definitely believe there was a short print on some of the better commons. I think.
Yeah.
WizKids knew what they were doing.
How to say that? Subintended or subliminal rarity.
Oh, there you go. And, and that piece is going to lead us right into the very next one, which is another generic, which is Valykarie. And she is 009 Asgardian Warrior. Real name, Various. She is 45 points for 4 clicks. Very interesting trait. A warrior's welcome into Valhalla. When an adjacent friendly character of 25 points or more with the Asgardian keyword is KO'd, after resolutions, roll a dice 6. 4 to 6, you may generate a warrior soul bystander in its square. And I'll go over that in 1 second. She also has flight. She has sidestep, blaze claws, fangs, toughness, defend, empower, and support. Her first 2 clicks are offensive clicks with a sidestep, blades, claws, fangs, toughness, and empower. And she starts with 8, 10, 17, 2, and it goes down by 1. But her last 2 clicks are more of a support click where she has 9 attack, 16 defense with defend, and 1 damage, but she has support. And then she also has it go up by 1 on her next click. So I never noticed that they went down and went back up, but it's pretty neat. She can bring a lot to your team. And also, if a character dies around her, she creates this warrior soul token, which is point value 0, has phasing, blaze claws, fangs, and super senses. And he's an 8 movement, 10 attack, 17 defense with 2 damage. So it's a piece you're going to have to deal with. And we're going to find out later when we look at in the uncommons that the warrior soul figures, actually their first click is the same click as the warrior soul token she'll produce. So you can use them as the tokens. I found that kind of neat. I think she's fun, and in that at 45 points in a sealed, she's very important.
Indeed. Having a 45-point taxi with Empower is great. One thing I want to argue thematically with these, you would think you want to play these with the last one that Pedro talked about, the Asgardian soldiers, right?
Correct.
So they can carry him in, and they can fight. But here's the problem. She has Empower, and they have blades, which don't mix together. Because if you roll your blades, you don't get the Empower.
I agree.
Dang it.
I know. And she's got sidestep, so she would work great with flying somebody up, them charging, or her sidestepping up after she's dropped them off, and then they charge to get next to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? To use that Empower on the charge. And I think she does better with the next figure we're going to talk about.
Yeah. I like her. I like her a lot. 45 points for a pog collar that flies, and it actually can hold its own on a fight for the first click and given power. I think it's great. I know it's asking too much, but since we are on a wish list comment as well, I would love to see her have the same thing as Jane Foster, that she can heal even when being adjacent. Of course, anyone would love to have this with anyone and give support, but I'll explain myself. It's just that she's made to be adjacent all the time. She has the empower. She has, her design is to be close to someone all the time, and I think that, and she's fragile. She has 4 clicks, so I think it was a good risk reward in terms of saying, great, I'm going to reward you for being stuck with a guy at the front doing your stuff right there, because otherwise if she gets to click 3 and she's based, she loses her main service at that click. But other than that, crazy design. The pog she calls is super strong and awesome. For 45 points, this is really cool.
All right. Let's move on. So we have another great generic, guys. 010 Rock Troll Asgardian Brute. Real name Various. So this guy is basically what you see, what you get. He is 25 points for 5 clicks of figure. What is this? We haven't seen something this crazy since the Thug from Superior Foes. And this guy has powers. So he's got charge with 7 speed, 11 attack, 18 with still naked values, but 3 damage. Wow.
Yeah.
And then last clicks just picks up sidestep, 8 attack, 16 with 2. Never has lower than 2 damage. This thing is literally meant to get into your opponent's face and be annoying. It's like, go ahead, waste 2 attacks on 25 points. Please do it.
Great movable wall and a very strong first click.
Indeed. You just wouldn't think of that from a 25-point figure. No way.
Nope.
No, he's crazy good, I think. And he's hard to hit anyway on his first click with that 18 defense. I know it's naked, but still, for a 25-point click. I mean, how many people are generating 5 damage, really?
I mean, not a lot, unless they have a rock in their hand.
Yep. And if they do, they're probably aiming at your main guys. If you're going to waste a heavy object on this guy on an attack from his main attacker on him, he's done his job superbly.
And it's really kind of interesting if you look the way the distribution is. We're in a run of generics.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a crazy run of generics right in a row in the commons, and I still say he goes best with Valykarie. Move him up 7, drop him when he charges. You sidestep up. It just gets kind of crazy. You can then use Empower with him. I mean, she's kind of made more for him. That'd only be a 70-point piece right there.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. With the Empower giving him 4 damage and she carries him in, that's really strong. All right.
Great. Talk about generics and crazy combos. The next one is the Stone Men of Saturn. His keywords are Brute and his name Various, for obvious reasons. He has he can be played at 100 point or 20 points. And his trait is Stone is strong together. Modify attack and defense by +1 for each adjacent friendly character named Stone Men of Saturn. When Stone, and it's not a unique modifier. You remember the rule? It's not there. It's not written there. So when Stone Man of Saturn has no action tokens and an adjacent friendly character named Stone Man of Saturn is given a move action, Stone Man of Saturn, which is at least the 5th time it shows up in the power, can use sidestep this turn. Other than that is what you see, what you get. At his 100-point value, he has 7 move, 10 attack, 18 defense, and 3 damage. Charge on his first 2 clicks. 18 defense, invulnerable. No indomitable, unfortunately, but close combat expert the whole 5 clicks of his 100 points. Then he gets more into his 20-point dial on a click 6 to 9, in which you're gonna see that the stats, the combat values decrease a little bit more to a 6, 8, 15, and 1, but he has empowered the whole dial. It's really more of a friend to get the bonuses and the empower going. I like this guy a lot. I think that for fun, I would be dying to build a Stone Man of Saturn only Brute team for probs and the plus, defenses and attack. These guys bunch together. If you put +3/3 on all the last 4 clicks, they actually become really strong. So it's a fun. And the empower will cover the damage, so you get attack, defense, and empower together. Don't forget that. And if you get a couple of them with the main guy, 11, 20, and 5, it hurts. So all around really cool. Hard to build on a sealed, because if you want to make a full Stone Man of Saturn, you got to be really lucky or unlucky, depending on how easy it is to pull many of them in your pools. But so I love the concept that you can use it himself to build a crazy team of its own, and GG.
Oh, I'm gonna say I dismiss this guy. I dismiss this guy until you start talking about him. It's crazy. I'm looking for 80 points. I can put 4 of these guys on a field for 80 points, and they're all running around with sidestep if one of them moves, 18 defense, 11 attack, and as long as 2 of them is around at 3 or 4 damage.
Yep.
I mean, it's just That's stupid. That's
Yeah.
all of them.
And team props. Team props all around.
Does Brute do that?
Oh no, Brute doesn't get it. Oh, a pity, I forgot. Almost. That's true. I'm sorry.
Killed it for us, guys.
Oh my God! Give him Warrior. Give him. It's a misprint. It's a misprint. I'm sorry, guys.
Warrior is still
True.
generic.
Oh, you're still gonna win map roll. Get a map roll. Get a map that favors you, and win the map roll.
Yeah,
Easily playing one of them at 100 points for the big beater, and then like a lot of little 20-point ones just for it's a squad of 4. So it's 160 points for 4 of them.
80.
That's not too bad.
Well,
if you're gonna play 1 + 3, it's 160. Sorry, if you're gonna play 1 + 4, then you're gonna be
1 + 3. That's the ideal strong of Saturn men.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but then that would put his I'd put the 100-point one. If he's surrounded by his 20-point cronies, he's at a 21 defense, isn't he?
Yes.
And 13 attack. Brutal. That's just brutal.
That's pretty awesome for some Stone
Give
men.
him the blood axe so that he can, attack every round.
Now you're getting brutal.
Exactly.
Man.
I mean, as I said, I dismiss this guy, but he would be a lot of fun. You see a big wall of stone men coming at you going, what in the world? Bunch of sidestepping guys coming in. I think he'd be pretty cool to play.
All right, who's next?
Oh, that's me. And we have just come to the end of our generic train with a Wakandan that I have trouble pronouncing. Let's try this. Hatut Zaraze. Yeah.
Be nice in the comments, guys.
Yeah, please. He's a Wakandan soldier. Real name various. He does have an improved movement of he can move through hindering. He has a special power on his movement, cloaking tech and energy dampening boots. He gets sidestep and stealth. He can move through elevation, but only to move to a lower elevation. And he also has a defensive power called Vibranium Microweave Mesh. Gives him toughness, impervious, but only when targeted by a range attack. So he has running shot and range combat expert. He's 50 points. He's 4 clicks deep. He has his special defensive power, his entire dial. He has his stealth, sidestep, and move through elevation on his first 2 clicks. He has a 10 attack followed by 9 and 2 10s. He's got a running shot on his last 2 clicks, 2 damage with RC at the beginning, 3 damage at the end of his dial. He's an interesting piece for 50 points. I kind of like some of this. I love his impervious from range, which then kind of nerfs some of those guys who can see through stealth and keeps them around a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to get up close with him, which, you probably don't want to. And if you don't, he can sit there and range combat expert you. So what do y'all think?
The 6 range gets me. This guy has 6 range with that sidestep RCE.
The stealth sniper.
Yep. Go back to the Avenger Defender Wars, and I definitely recommend you watch the Alpha Strike reviews on those. Stop every time you hear the word Wakanda. Build something with it. It's not gonna be meta, but it's gonna ruin everybody's for fun, and it's gonna be awesome. It's a really well put together team, and a Wakanda gets it, right? Yes. Wakanda gets the team props, and you get him with the Wakabi, and you get him with the Black Panther that boosts them. It's not going to be a ultra meta team, but you're going to have loads of fun. And this is something that particular team was missing, which is a decent ranged guy. So interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, but him with other Wakandans outside of this set really ups his efficiency quite a bit.
Yeah.
I noticed that with this set, they really kind of filled a few holes that some of the last Marvel sets had missed.
Yes.
I'm actually very, very impressed with that. Good job, WizKids, for taking stuff from older sets and giving them more, because we don't hate that. So
Not at all.
Okay, my turn?
Yes, you are, because you are our leader.
Exactly.
Speaking of the leader, I have 0. This is a 13A, right? Yes. The leader.
Return of the Primes. Well, this ain't the Prime, but yes.
This isn't the Prime yet, but hey. Intelligentsia and Scientist keywords, real name Samuel Stearns, has a damage power on the first 2 clicks of his dial and the last click of his dial called Find a way to defeat these oafs with science.
Nice.
Outwit. He may use it a second time this turn if the first use targeted a higher point value character and he chose the target's current defense power. So this guy is really ridiculous because he wants to get in there, find your highest guy, outwit his defense power, and then outwit something else. So you would think, oh, he's 60 points with 5 range. I shouldn't get him in the fight. No, just go ahead. Make sure that you have your main attackers behind him and just say, okay, he's outwitted. Go get him. You know. And if you're really smart, guys, remember, new outwit, you can pick powers that he could get. If you memorize dials, you can say, oh, I know if I hit my main attacker hits him for 5, he lands on this set of powers, I'll outwit that. So when he goes to retaliate, to attack me back, he doesn't have that power. So,
and Erx, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no limitation on the second use. So not only could outwit any other power, but you can also outwit another defensive power, right? So if you're seeing the shot Armagon and you want to get his invulnerable, but then you know he gets invincible, then it says invulnerable and then invincible as well. And then go to town on the big fish.
That's exactly right, Pedro. So looking at his dial, basic, like, you know, I don't want to call him a support figure because he does have some attack capabilities, but he is mostly going to be a support character. He does have sidestep and then mind control on his last 3 clicks, so he can tell your opponent's figures to do what you want them to do. He's got sidestep. He's got super senses to kind of keep himself safe from attacks, and then mastermind to pass off damage when you want him to keep those outwits, because he has outwit the whole dial even without the special one. So not bad. Intelligentsia is a weird keyword that's not enough figures for, but scientist, always a good keyword.
Oh yeah, and I like that. I mean, how can you build a Hulk team and then have a Hulk enemy team without the leader? I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time we got a leader? Was it back in the
Hulk
Incredible?
set.
The Incredible Hulk, right? I guess
Yeah.
so.
Right,
That's
so-
my recollection.
I mean, for anybody that wants to play some different type figures, this guy's a must because we've not had him in so long. Just fun to play. That's what I say.
The Hulk theme in this Thor set really threw me off. I couldn't believe how much Hulk they put in this set. It's like, wow, there's a lot of Hulk in this set. All right, next one.
Okay, now it's my turn to be super happy and also to promote the channel, because if you guys join not only the channel, which is great, by all means, we're gonna be having some nasty surprises. You can also join the Patreon and become a Cerebro, and you'll be able not only to chat with us but also participate in our messenger group in which I wrote essays about this guy right now. Because I'm
Yes, you did.
completely in love with him. He's the red leader. He has Thunderbolts. Talk about throwbacks to other sets. Get your Baron Zemo ready. The Thunderbolts are here. He has Thunderbolts and Scientists. He's Samuel Stearns. He's for another props for WizKids, because for a Prime, he's great, and it's a common Prime, so you don't have to go. Although the super rare Prime is awesome, and you're gonna see it. Awesome common Prime. He has first trait, which is betray the team again or finally escape. Once per game, when Red Leader would be KO'd, you may instead give another friendly character with the Thunderbolts keyword 2 action tokens. He must have 0 action tokens to receive the 2, and if you do, turn Red Leader to click number 1. So that's a second life for him. Of course, 2 action tokens is bad, but it's so much better than KOing the other Thunderbolt characters, or if it's you have a Thunderbolt on the back, he can take the hit and you simply give Red Leader a second life. And why is it important? Because his damage power, which he lasts for the first 3 clicks of his 4, is simply amazing. It's genius level intellect, even if it kills me. Outwit and Perplex. And Red Leader may use his Perplex as a power, and if he does, modify the chosen combat value by +2 or -2. Let me make a few comments on this. First one, yes, they accumulate. So you can use Outwit, and then you can Perplex for free, and then you can give a power action to Perplex for another +2. That's a +3 Perplex coming from a single source. It can go to your main attacker, it can go to defend someone you won't be able to because you want to be attacking. It can go to a Colossal Retaliator if you think someone is going to go across the board to get him. It can be used anywhere, or on himself to defend him or to make him attack. +1 and +2 makes anyone aggressive. On top of that, he still has super senses, although the defense number is not very high, and poison for his last 3 clicks, and stealth on the last 2, in case someone's trying to get close to him. He's only 50 points. The 4 clicks is small, but if you get someone with a thunderbolt, or if you leave him behind doing his job, you likely won't find many troubles. Of course, to me, he's occupying prime space, but he's doing it very well. Outwit and Perplex, especially in sealed games, is gold. Will take you a long way, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this guy in meta or anywhere, because to me, I might be biased, but he's super awesome.
Right, and like in my unboxing video, if you guys watch that, I was super stoked to get this figure because I'm a huge Thunderbolts fan, and I noticed he had that. I'm like, yes, this team needed this so badly, and he has sidestep so he can get on the field however he wants and just plan your moves with you, and it's so thematic. Wonderful figure, amazing.
Yeah, that perplex he has is ungodly. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that can give a +3 to anything is just crazy, and he has the ability to kind of move it around. So, wow, yeah, I love him. I think he does better outside of this set, though. There are some Thunderbolts in this set. His ability to kind of team with Thunderbolts really help him out.
There's one in the uncommon slot I'm very excited to talk about when we get there, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yes, there is. And we're there because the Thunderbolt is King Cobra. And that's our next figure. Here's our Thunderbolt that goes with Red Leader. Let's
totally
see.
can.
He can. Let's see. We got King Cobra, number 14, Serpent Society, Thunderbolts, Animal, which is a up-and-coming named, keyword. I think it's a pretty good keyword right now. And Ruler. His real name is Klaus Voorhees. Really? Voorhees. Didn't know that. All right. Let's see. He's got a sneak attack.
Yeah, you got to see this.
Sneak attack. Something we've not seen. Yeah, what is that? We haven't seen the sneak attack since Superior Foes. There we go. And it works just like the others. Phasing teleport. When King Cobra uses it and moves 3 squares or less, after resolutions, he may make a closed attack. He also has a special damage. Damage power. Strike at their hearts. Man, y'all don't know that I had trouble saying S's when I was growing up, and this is just one of those things. Unfortunately. All right. He gets leadership. If King Cobra uses it and succeeds, he may instead remove the action token from a friendly character with a Serpent Society keyword, regardless of adjacency. Love that. Increase his leadership result by +1 for each other friendly character that's adjacent to an opposing character.
Wow, I read that part.
That's crazy right there. So, wow. Oh, yeah. And what is that? Anaconda? Is it Anaconda?
Yes.
Oh, man, move her around up in there and do that.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Now, he gets plasticity. Of course, you expect that. And he has his super senses, which is Serpent Slick. And he's got combat reflexes. His dial, 55 points. He's got 5 clicks. He's got plasticity all the way down. He's got super senses on his first 2 clicks. And then he's got combat reflexes. His special powers all the way down the dial. His first 3 clicks are 3 damage. Last 2's 2. Keeps a 10 attack for 3 and then 9. I mean, this is what Serpent Society needed. A leader. And he's their leader. So I kind of like him. I did not realize how well he'll really help out the Serpent Society. I'd actually dismissed them back in Superior Foes. I mean, they're just going to be a fun team. But I think he will bring something to that team.
They'll definitely be more fun for sure with him on the team.
Yeah, with the changes to Quake and to leadership, he will, get your team up close and personal against your opponent. He'll likely do leadership on anything but a 1 or 2. And he's going to pick anywhere if it's a Serpent Society team and just get 1 token out. I agree completely. He's the leader they'd be missing.
All right. I guess we'll move on to number 15. We have one of the most amazing Eternals in this slot. The only one in the slot. Thena, Eternal keyword, armor, deity, warrior. Real name, Azura. So this trait covers all of the Eternals. We'll say one time each for each one in their rarity. So channel cosmic energy free until your next turn. Thena can't use the power cosmic team ability, but can use perplex and willpower. When she uses perplexed and targets herself, modify a combat value +2 instead. So I want to preface this. When I first saw this power, and I think I saw it on, I think it was Icarus or Circe, I really didn't like it. I thought it was really silly that for the cost of these characters to give up the one thing that they're probably putting all that point value into is their team ability, just to take it away, seemed really bad. But once I played with it, holy crap, this is stupid nuts. Okay, so getting to her attack power, she gets on the last 4 clicks of her dial. It's called the Discipline of Warfare. Whenever Thena hits with an attack, after resolutions, give the target an action token. If you can't, deal it 1 penetrating damage. So already you have a 10 attacker with 3 damage, and if they, you give them a token, if they can't, it's 1 penetrating, kind of like a pseudo
Incapacitate?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. And on her last 2 clicks, she has regen and toughness, which isn't a stop click, so you can get full regen results out of these. Now, her reducers are insane. She starts off with invincible, goes into invulnerability, and then toughness. So she's always got a reducer and can heal. Let's see here. Speed power is looking at running shot with 7 range flight. So she carries, drops into phasing teleport, goes into charge. So she's more of a close combat attacker with exploit weakness. So hey, that mixed with her attack power does penetrating damage and gives them a token if they already have 2. So that's really strong. And then just more phasing at the end there, and 3 damage the entire dial. So one quick story with this girl. I was playing a fun game with my buddy. We bought a booster a piece. I pulled her and some other like low level point cost dudes. Like, oh crap, I'm gonna lose. Well, good thing I have Thena here. I was facing down a Thor buster, and she hit him for 5 pen size.
Crazy.
Oh, because I was like, you know what? I got this. I'm gonna go ahead and do my damage.
I'll try. Let's do it.
And just bam. He was like, oh, that sucks. I'm like, yeah, it does.
Well, I know the guys, everybody knows this by now, and we mentioned, but if you haven't learned by now how outwit's important in Seal, the Eternals are going to teach you a hard lesson.
Yeah, they are. Wow.
She's awesome. And also one of the best Eternals in the set, if you ask me, to be super honest.
Right.
And a common slot. So GG with kids, making the game accessible and fun.
Oh yeah,
and that's the biggest thing to worry about too in sealed. Like, oh, if I pull like a bad rare or a bad uncommon slot section, will my common be any good? Thena is your answer, guys.
Yep.
She's
just like Cable was for Deadpool, right? Imagine Cable and Seal was like, yep, great. I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah, she is by far. If you pull her in sealed, I mean, you'd have to pull some crazy rare not to use her, or crazy chase. I mean, there's really, she's almost an automatic play.
Yes.
In sealed. I mean, and just to really, I mean, I have one thing is I didn't realize until I was playing a guy. We were playing, I was sitting there going, I think I'm out of range of Thena. And then he decided to channel his power cosmic into his running shot.
Yeah,
and then it's an 8 square running shot. And I'm like, holy, that gave her a 15 square swing with penetrating psychic blast. I was like, oh, wow. And I mean, it's downhill after that. But she's crazy good. You've got to use her.
Oh, and everyone forgets, if you lose power cosmic with your free action, that's okay. You still have willpower, so you can push and do some more damage.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
She's exchanging protected outwit for +2 perplex. That's the trade-off. And it's a good trade-off because you can see whether there's outwit on the table or not when you have to pick it. So it's
right.
Just free good options.
Yeah, and I've played a couple of sealed matches. I've yet to see her go down.
Yep. Okay, so now we're going to come back and finish in a high note. Is the last guy in the common slots. He's the Piledriver. So we're ending up with a Wrecking Crew guy. I love this, guys. He's Piledriver, number 16. He has the Master of Evils, the Wrecking Crew, and the Brute keywords. His real name is Brian Kaluski. He has 2 traits. The first one is Live Up to the Name, which gives him improved movement to ignore hindering terrain. When Piledriver occupies a debris marker, he can't be targeted by opposing characters that are 5 or more squares away from him. The second one, sorry, swinging for the fences. Knockback, and may knock back characters that can't be knocked back due only to charge or combat reflexes. Meaning that if someone has charge or combat reflexes, you still knock them back. But if they're colossal, for instance, they don't go over it. It has to respect other than charge and combat reflexes. When Piledriver knocks back a character after resolutions, you may move Piledriver up to a number of squares equal to the highest number of squares a character was knocked back. Do you remember there was a clarification on that, saying that he can, do enough movement to just stay close to the guy?
Yeah, basically. I don't see why not.
Yeah. And basically what you see, 75 points, he has the Master of Evil team ability, if I recall correctly, which gives him the Colossal Stamina-like effect, which you can, you don't give him an extra action token, but you get the third action, let's call it that, and give him unavoidable damage. Charge on the first 3 clicks is 5 clicks long, which is a little bit short for 75 points, but he has 4 damage on his first click and 3 damage all the way through. Charge on the first 3 clicks, 10 attack on the first 2, and then dropping down to 9, invulnerable 17, and then toughness for 18 and 17 on the last 2 clicks. I think he lacks Indomitable, but he has a Master of Evil team ability. I like him very much. I love the Wrecking Crew. I think be able to knock back regardless might become in handy, especially because guys who have charge or combat reflexes want to be on your grill the whole time, and knocking them back might make the difference between not allowing them to attack again. The only thing I'm not super crazy about is that he loses a lot. Master of Evil or lack of willpower or Indomitable makes him drop his clicks, and he's very good at the first clicks, but it suffers a little bit, or not to say a lot, after his second click. But other than that, a super cool guy, 75 points worth of a Wrecking Crew, worthy of his name, Mr. Piledriver.
So, a couple things I want to talk about this figure that, as you were reading this, triggered in my head. So, 2 things you can do this guy, make him really dumb. You can play him with the, what's his name? Baron Zemo from Superior Foes to give him the sidestep and +1 to attack. So now he's moving, 5 + 2, 7 squares charging at you with 11 attack, 4 damage. Now, on top of that, you can go ahead and give him 2 options for equipment, since we have those in the set, and we'll get some more of those in the whole 4 review later. But think of the Blood Axe as an option. Okay? Give him the Steel Energy so he can keep on pushing and doing all that extra damage, that exploit weakness. And this one's a little stretch. Thunderstrike. Yep. So he's always knocking back and just healing all the time.
It's crazy. I like it. It's a little bit odd, but thinking outside the box. We'll keep him up top and hurting a lot.
Oh yeah, and since he's had such a great first click, and he has ability to, you can't target him, which is always good characters, if they can't be targeted by a certain range, which helps them get those range characters. I think one thing I like about him is at 75 points, the equipment is a very viable option. It's not going to bust his point cost that bad.
Yep.
And one thing to keep in mind, guys at home, just so you guys know, with his first trait, he doesn't have improved blocking, so he doesn't break it. You have to have somebody else shoot some blocking or debris for you to kind of give him that protection, which break stuff is kind of a philosophy here at the Alpha Strike, so break away.
Yeah. So guys, with that, well, he's the Wrecking Crew, so I'm guessing we're gonna see very shortly that his friends can help him put the debris markers in the right spot for him. But we'll take the opportunity then to thank you, Erks, thank Shea for joining us, and then having the opportunity to make this review. I want to remind everybody to please subscribe to the channel. It's important to help Erks and the guys produce the content. It's really cool. You'll be knowing everything that we're doing, everything that's coming out of the channel. Also, join the Patreon. If you haven't, you're missing out. If you're having second thoughts, just join in. No reason not to. Everybody's welcome. We want to listen to everybody. We listen to everybody. Everybody has a voice. This is the community space, so people are incentivized to show up and not to be shy about it. This was the common review for the Mighty Thor set. Sorry, we're going to continue on with the other rarities as well through all the set. So thank you, Erks, again. Thank you, Shea. And guys,